Hey everyone, welcome back to this week's College Playing Tip of the Week. My name is Jack Lang, who's with me is Nancy Steenson of Steenson College Coaching. Nancy, we started a series last time we talked about liberal arts colleges, pros and cons. This week, I'd like to go to the other end of the spectrum and talk about the large public colleges, much like Texas, where I went. What are some pros and cons for large public colleges for students?
That is a great question, Jack. And large public research universities are a great choice for some students. Very, very different from the liberal arts colleges we talked about last time. Many large public universities have a flagship campus. That would be the main largest campus in that state. And that can be like a small city, which has its pros and cons. There are more people than you will ever possibly get to know over 4 years, and that's right for some students. There can be buses taking you from one side of the campus to the other. The campus can be that large. There can be a tremendous amount of research being done in all the different departments, which students can get involved in. There can be competition for that research because the PhD students get first dibs, and then maybe the master's students. So you have to fight harder as an undergraduate, but certainly a lot of very, very rich research going on. There are more clubs and opportunities and intramural and club sports than you can imagine. There's something for everyone. And within those extracurricular opportunities, students can really find their people, right? Find their small group of people, because otherwise it certainly can be overwhelming with that many students. So those clubs and organizations can be a way for students to really find their place at a large public research institution. They can be a great financial value, certainly if you live in state, but even if you live out of state, they can still be significantly less expensive than a private university if you don't qualify for need-based aid. For me, one of the most powerful things about large public institutions is the alumni network. It's usually very, very strong. And something I counsel my students on all the time is, what's your bang for your buck? What's going to happen at the end of 4 years? What kind of job opportunities are there? Not just within your major, but what opportunities will your university offer you? And colleges with a strong alumni network is those are very powerful resources for students to start networking and get internships and jobs. And large public research universities tend to have very strong alumni networks, which is fantastic. It's important to keep in mind, however, that if a student is considering large public research institutions, that they need to be somewhat mature. They need to not need as much support, because there's a certain amount of independence that comes with going to a university that large. And if a student is not quite confident and independent, they may feel a little bit lost. The classes will be much larger for longer. So well past freshman year, they could have classes with hundreds of people. They may not have a chance to get to know their professors because of that. They may feel like a number. And at some large universities, they may have a number, and that number is something they're going to have to write. And you're nodding because you went to Texas. So they may feel like a number. They may only get to see their advisor once a semester for a 15-minute slot. So these are some of the things to keep in mind, because large public research universities are wonderful, wonderful educational institutions, and they're great for the right student. But students and parents need to keep in mind the other side of it, because for a student who really can't self-advocate and push for that research spot, student who won't stand in line waiting for those office hours, a student who needs and wants more time, more touch time with their advisor and with professors, the large research university might not be a good fit. So pros and cons, different kinds of schools for different kinds of students.
Those are great tips. You're taking me back because I definitely remember being just referred to as a number because that's how all the students were. And Yeah, so I enjoyed my experience, but definitely not for everyone. So it's all about finding the right school for the right kid, right? So thanks for everyone for watching this week's College Planning Tip of the Week. Great tips by Nancy as always. Everyone, please stay safe, stay healthy, and we'll see you next time.